I remember when I was a little girl, my dad had a jar like this, and when he got home from work, he would dump his coins into the jar, and I would watch it slowly fill up throughout the month. And pretty much every month it would fill up, and I would get to take it to our coin sorting machine, which was this little machine that was like a conveyor belt. And I would dump in all the coins, and the machine would just kind of act like a sorter, like a where it would carry the coins along and drop the quarters in one container, drop the dimes in another, the nickels in another, and the pennies in another. And I would just be so amazed that in a matter of like 2 minutes, this huge thing of coins would get sorted and organized so efficiently by this machine. And then of course, I would get to roll up the quarters or roll up the coins and take them to the bank. And it was a fun way for me to make a couple extra bucks each month. So that's a fond memory that I have as a kid. And when I was thinking about that machine that I used to use, I realized that that is a whole lot like how the brain works. We know that our brain is a master machine of taking in information and sorting and organizing it. And what we know is that our brain takes in all this data through our senses, and it either files it away or finds a little compartment in our brain of things that it already knows, and it just adds information to what it already knows. Or if it can't find something to connect with, then it makes a new file, or it might branch off something that's similar. But our brain does this in nanoseconds, and it does it without being told what to do or anybody programming it with information. It's a master machine that we have here on our heads. And as educators, the fact that we know this should completely influence our instruction and how we design our instruction. Because as elementary school teachers especially, we have a lot to teach. In fact, we're often overwhelmed with the amount that we have to teach our students. And specifically when I think about magnitude, I think about phonics with teaching kids how to read. Right now, we know that our kids have a deficit in phonics, particularly our older kids. The kids that were learning phonics during COVID times with broken instruction through virtual learning. There are a lot of reasons why our kids are lacking phonics, but the reality is that we have a lot of holes to fill. But there are so many phonics rules in the English language. I think there's over 200 phonics rules that kids are taught throughout elementary school and that they need to learn in order to become confident, independent, successful readers. So we as educators are faced with this decision of, how do we get all of this information in a child's head so they can read confidently and efficiently? And curriculum does that for us, but oftentimes it doesn't exactly match kids with what they need. For example, if you've got second, third, fourth, or fifth grader who's not reading yet, they're not ready for the complexities of the phonics lessons that are in the third, fourth, fifth grade curriculum. They need the basics. Likewise, you might have kids who are ready for more and they're bored with reviewing what they already know. Phonics is a tough one because each brain has its own unique combination of knowledge in it. And so when we're faced with the task of teaching something vast like phonics and complex like phonics, but necessary, something we can't skip over, something we need to give every single piece, we can utilize this sorting and organizing machine of a brain we have to be way more efficient than we typically are in the classroom. We have a lot of different ways that we can chunk phonics knowledge together. And the one that I learned was Revlock. And this was revolutionary for me. If you're familiar with Orton Gillingham, Revlock is like the cornerstone to the program. It's this idea that the complexities of all of these phonics rules can really be grouped together into 6 syllable types that make up the majority of our English language. And these 6 syllable types are a part of 1-syllable words and multisyllabic words. So when we teach kids this tool of chunking knowledge into 6 syllable types, we're using their brain to deliver instruction in the way the brain learns. The brain wants to take in a new phonics rule and connect it to something it already knows. So if we give the child's brain these 6 categories, these 6 syllable types that fall around vowels, which are in every word, we're giving them not only a way to organize their phonics knowledge, but we're also giving them a way of grabbing on to using that knowledge when they're reading. Oftentimes, kids who struggle to read either are lacking the phonics knowledge to decode, or they've got the knowledge, but they're not using it. They don't see how it's purposeful. And that's usually because it's been taught so piecemeal, where it's like, here's one phonics rule, here's the next phonics rule, and kids have them filed so spaced out or mismatched that they don't have an efficient way of grabbing onto the knowledge. So when we teach a system that helps kids organize a whole bunch of information and also an efficient way to grab onto that file folder in their brain and utilize it for reading, we are giving them a beautiful gift, particularly our older students who are needing to be independent readers, but they're lacking so much knowledge. How can we chunk information to give them information in groups, just to shorten that runway for them? And RevLock is a way to do it. Here are the 6 syllable types. We've got, if we look for a vowel in a word, that vowel is either going to be closed in by an R and make a bossy R sound. It's going to maybe have a magic E pattern, making for a long vowel sound. A vowel team, where 2 vowels are walking together, and either the first one's doing the talking or they've got a special sound. Consonant LE is a pattern we chop off at the end, like tull, bull, full. And then the vowel is either going to be open and free to run, which means it's long, or closed, and that's when it's given its short vowel sound. So if we tune kids into seeing these vowel patterns in every word and teaching them, we're really helping them make sense of all of these hundreds of phonics rules that make up our English language. Furthermore, when we teach them chopping rules, we teach them how to break up longer words into syllable types that match these 6 syllable patterns. The last thing I want to add on is this. After we teach these syllable types, we also often teach different spelling rules that are just kind of like the floss rule, where we throw out that. That's a short vowel rule. So even though we're teaching them something new, we're giving them a place to store it in the short vowel file in their brain. This is such a powerful tool. And if you know Orton Gillingham, awesome. I hope that you're using it in your classroom. If you're wanting to tutor, this is such a great way of helping to catch our students up. If you're a parent and you're wondering, how am I going to help my 3rd grader learn to read, or my 4th grader, or my 5th grader, this is going to help you too. This chunking strategy for teaching phonics is definitely secret sauce. All right, it's using the way the brain learns to teach a ton of information. And it's going to help those children that need to catch up. So if you know a student that could benefit from this, I would encourage you to go to my website. It's inspiringliteracy.com. I have been teaching this strategy for 10 years, and I have perfected how to do it in a way that kids have fun through learning it with games. They are excited because they see how it helps them not only read, but spell, because we want those 2 things mapped together in the brain. And it is just so much fun to teach, and kids love it. So head to my website, inspiringliteracy.com, and go check out the resources I have there to help catch kids up quickly. I believe, because of this, that our illiteracy problem in America should be the easiest problem that we solve in our time. And I believe that because we know how to do it. We know what to teach, we know how the brain learns, and we just need willing grown-ups to come alongside struggling readers and give them the gift of literacy. I'd love to help you do that. And if you already are doing that, fabulous. I hope that you can take this little brain trick of sorting and organizing and use that some way in your classroom today and this week to help deliver the instruction to your students in a more efficient way through chunking information so they can sort and organize it quickly. My name is Brynn Decker, and I am so glad that you decided to listen to this message today. I hope you find it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.